still. Well, there's a place I've come to know well, led by a man named Sty. He's full of stories, he is quite a guy. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty, he's quite the guy. If you're feeling lonely, come and make a friend. If you need a story, on Sty you can depend. His voice is soothing like a lullaby. Sometimes he brings a tear to my eye. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty, he's quite the guy.
Well, welcome to the Sty Shack, all of you folks out there. It's great to see you. Gosh, yes. You know I love seeing you guys every Sunday. Darn right, darn right. I'm going to shout out these folks out in the chat right away. We only got a few out there chatting, but we'll get more out there chatting. You watch, yeah. First one in, as always, is Kathy. Boy, the minute I post the stream up, that it's coming up 3 hours from now, 2-3 hours from now, Kathy jumps right on. And she always says, I'll be back. And she is back. Yeah, you'll see as we go down. There's Alexander with Old Country Homesteading. It's great to see you, Alexander. I saw it today on Facebook. I haven't been online much this week, but I saw it today on Facebook. You got an answer to your question. I was going to do a little digging and researching and just didn't get to it. Man, I'm sorry, pal. Yeah, life is just pulling me in 10 different directions, you know. But I don't forget about you, Alexander. Hey, little music. He says, today I'm having a can of chili. Man, the good stuff for hiccups. And sprinkled with shredded cheese. Now, for me, canned chili, there's only one kind of canned chili for me. And that's canned chili without beans, because I use that when I'm making chili dogs. Oh, and there's Yoran. Shadow Scout Swede is in the house. It is so great to see you too, brother. Oh, man, I am so happy. He's been showing up every Sunday. It's so good to see him. So good to see him. He's yelling out good evening to everyone out there. And then I told you, there's Kathy. Hey, Sty, I'm back. LOL. And yelling hi to everybody else, of course. And there's Native Kutsa. Keeping an eye on you. Don't mess around on here. Native Kutsa's keeping an eye on you. I just had somebody pop in the basement. We'll pull him up in just a moment here. There's Freeman James. Great to see you, brother. Say hi to Sis for me. Give her big hugs and kisses from me. Hey, B Whistle is in the house. The degenerate fish keeper. It's great to see you, B Whistle. Lori. There's Lori, guys. She says, "Hey, Sty, sorry I haven't been around, but I've had a lot of family problems and came out of that hospital." Lori, I totally understand, girl. You got a lot going on in your life, and I worry about you when I don't hear from you. But I am so glad I'm hearing from you today because now I know that you're okay. Kathy, Kathy, girl, you don't have to do that, girl. Kathy, you're so sweet. Thank you so very much. The, yeah, yeah, Joran's reminding me he's on vacation. That's why he's here on Sundays. Yeah. But I love it that he's showing up here. He's showing up here on his vacation. That is so cool. That is so cool. Well, I got this guy in the basement. Let's find out where he thinks he's going.
Oh, I know where I'm going, and I'm driving the bus.
Well, if you're driving my bus, just don't let me off too soon here.
Yeah, no, I'm down in Louisiana right now. Down on I-10.
Oh yeah, gotta be nice and humid down there, I bet.
Oh yeah, humid, hot. Yeah,
Yep.
truck is saying it's 102, so you can give or take a few degrees on that.
Yeah, where you'd prefer to take 10, 20 degrees off of that.
Yep, and heading over to Texas, so that's not going to get much better.
Oh no, I mean, yeah, anywhere down there, it's going to take quite a few hours to get to where it's any better. You would actually enjoy today's weather here. Right now it's 75 degrees, about 85% humidity, not bad. And yeah, nice breeze. Nice day out there today. I wish I was rambunctious enough to get something done out there today. Oh, yeah. Totally understood, Kathy. Yeah, my love right back to you, girl. Right back to you. Shadow Scout, his wife and his friend are saying hey to me. Hey, right back at you. Right back to you. It was great seeing his wife. I think it was last week we saw her. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Running Water, don't you order anymore from Amazon.
What?
I don't know where the hell to put it. I've got 8 boxes here, sitting here, man. What is it? What did it say? A 3-compartment something or other. It's that tool cabinet.
Yeah, that locker. Looks like a school locker. Yeah.
You should have seen me trying to drag that SOB into the house. I can't lift the sucker off the floor.
Well, no, you just leave it out there till Joe shows up. Have him drag it in.
Well, I don't know when he's going to show up. I just don't trust people, But yeah, I drug it in here, and the other 7 boxes. Oh God! Well, I guess I don't know for sure yet. I'll know this week, but we were talking, Running Water, about my hospital bed for here, and you kind of worked that dilemma out for me. if you're still good with that arrangement, maybe what I'll do is take
Oh,
and
yeah.
set that aside for 2 months, maybe 3 at the most. I am going to set up a GoFundMe this week. So far, it appears that if I rent a hospital bed for here at the house, it's going to be $250 a month. No way in hell am I paying them $250 a month when they showed me one of their hospital beds that they rent out. It looks like they drug it out of a scrapyard and threw a fresh mattress on it. I said, you got to be kidding me. I said, that thing looks like it's 30 years old. Oh no, it's much newer than that. And I said, it's pretty rough looking. I said, how much a month? And they said $250. And I guess that's part of my illness. I couldn't hold my tongue. I go, the hell you say? Yeah. No. I told them, I said, you're going to have to come up with something much better than that for $250 a month. And so I'm hoping that I'll be meeting with my palliative nurse this coming week or the week after and find out she's got an outlet, a place to get one that find out from her what kind of quality theirs are, you know. So I've been looking online. I thought, yeah, I'll set up a GoFundMe. It's going to run me $2-3 grand to buy a good one, you know. And I think a GoFundMe will cover it. I'll get enough through a GoFundMe to do it. If not, I did find one on Amazon that I could buy, and as far as I'm concerned, could be listed or thrown in a yard sale after I'm gone. But I got to find out from the nursing staff if it'll meet their specifications first. This bugger, you can take the mattress off of it, fold that bugger up, and it's got a case that it fits into, and you can carry it in a case. And it's electric, power head and foot. It doesn't have the whole bed rise up and down feature, but it's got the head and the foot adjustments. And it sits with that mattress of your brother's. It'll fit on there just nice, you know. Hey, Matt. There's Matt. Matt's here. Oh, and JCT. There's JCT. Great to see you, sweetie. But yeah, I kind of had my hopes up, and then they showed me that piece of junk, and I go, holy shit. Give me a couple of small electric motors and a stack of 2x4s. I'll build something that looks better than that. Yeah. So.
Well, and that's a money maker industry there, you know, the rental of medical equipment. You know,
oh yeah.
Because at that price, you know, 8 months and it's paid for. You know.
Okay, get this too. I was looking at their, you know, those rolling tables that they give you at the hospital, you know, that roll over the hospital bed, you know, that you eat off of and shit. They got them there, and I go, oh yeah, I'll probably need one of them someday. Someplace to set my keyboard and mouse. And they go, oh yeah, we rent those too. I said, what do you get for those? And they said $25 a month. I thought, boy, that's a lot cheaper than the bed. That's for damn sure. Well, then I got home, went on Amazon. I go, Whoa, 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 whoa! What kind of shit is this? I can buy the fanciest one, the fanciest one. I mean, it's got so many features to it for $70 on Amazon, and I'm going to pay
Yeah,
him $25 a month. In other words, in 3 months, I bought him a brand new one. And the
yeah,
ones they had looked like they're leftovers when the hospital got rid of their old ones and replaced them with new ones. And it's like,
yeah. A lot of times it is that stuff that got auctioned off by the hospital when they upgrade, and the
right.
rental companies
eh,
then rent it out. It's already been paid for, yo, and like pure profit.
Yeah, yeah. It's it it's insane. I mean, $25 a month for something that you can buy retail for $70. Well, and they got the cheaper models, which are basically what you typically see in the hospital, but they're new at least, they're in good condition for $50. So in 2 months they could buy a new one. I I bet you they got a garage full of them damn things. Yeah, let's rent them suckers out, boy. That's a cash cow there. Um, I was so pissed off at that place when I left there. I thought, shit, don't have a heart attack now. I want to go in there and beat somebody up. You thieving bastards. Well, and then
Well,
this gal says to me, Medicare will pay for the bed. And I said, oh, no, it won't. That's the way I talk. Because she was talking kind of snidely at me.
yeah,
Medicare will pay for that. And I go, oh, no, it won't. I said, don't tell somebody that's on Medicare and trying to tap into it for every penny I can get what they will and won't pay for. Because they will not pay for it. Not until I'm classified as hospice. Oh, I'm not so sure about that. I said, I don't think you're so sure about anything except what you people charge for this equipment. Yeah. Yeah, that was BS.
yeah. Because I remember that from working at the nursing home there in Minnesota when they had done one of the wings. They were doing a renovation update, and they were selling all the beds, all the tables and nightstands, and everything that's in those rooms. And they're set up as dual occupancy rooms in that one wing.
Right.
And they had an auction for it. The ones that bought it was a rental company.
Right.
That was there, and I was one of the people helping them load it up into their big old trailer, load up all these beds and everything. But
that raised its ugly head as another issue is getting it in our place here. Son of a bitch. Yeah, either we got to clean out this front room, what we were talking about the other day. Otherwise, they ain't getting it in here. They can get, oddly enough, I believe they'll get through this front door and around the corner. I was measuring at the thickness of the bed itself. When it's totally flattened out, it'll come through that door on its side. Come through the door. But holy Christ, they delivered this son of a bitch in a crate. It's a big wooden. It's cardboard. It's weird. It's a wooden frame crate, but the walls and the ends are cardboard. But because once you get it, they say to get the bed out of it, you cut the cardboard out of the front, tip it down, and it works like a ramp to roll the bed out of the crate. I said, holy shit. Watching these videos, people trying to get them set up, and we wouldn't be able to make couple of swings around here with all the crap we got in this front room. Oh, well. Hey, but the way I'm feeling this last week, knock on wood, I don't think we're in a dire situation here. It's not a crisis mode kind of thing. So we got plenty of time yet. So we'll work her all out. I did find out, I need 40 inches minimum for the width of the bed and 80 inches minimum for the length. Actually, it's about 86 inches long because the mattress on them is the twin XL, so that's an 80-inch mattress. Yeah, Lori's saying that the hospital bed that she has now is a piece of junk. It's only 5 years old. Ain't that terrible? Ain't that terrible? So far, the best luck I've had with any equipment is stuff I paid out of pocket for. Didn't rent it, didn't get it from a used place, nothing. Just went and bought the best I could find. And it's like that walker I've got. That thing's a beast, man. The only thing that walker could use is an electric motor. One that runs when I'm walking behind it, one that'll run with me sitting in it. It'd be like an ATV, man. But it's a tough walker. Oh, don't get one.
They've got those electric bike conversion kits that keep popping up on my Amazon. I'm like, we get two of those on there. We can take in one on each wheel. Yeah. And you just have a button, for you drive it like a tank.
Yeah. You're to swerve back and forth. Hell, I can do that just by dragging my hiking stick on each side. Stir it like a damn boat. Put a rudder on it.
Yeah. But now, hear me out. We just take the front end off that old snowblower, and you sit on your seat and hold on. Like the pull behind tractors.
Yeah. You'll never guess what I did Friday. I was out of smokes. Well, I wasn't out. I only had a couple packs left. I thought, well, I better run out and get a carton of smokes. Trying to think of a shopping list, grocery-wise. I couldn't think of nothing that I wanted or needed. I thought, well, okay, get the hell all dressed, go out just for smokes. And I did it anyway. Picked my smokes up, and it felt so good just driving around town, just driving through town. I headed south on Highway 13, and I went all the way do to the Black Lake campground, saw Travis down there. So that's the longest driving road trip I've taken since my surgery last year. And I got total time from when I left the store where I got the smokes till the time I was back home and sitting on the couch. I was gone 6.5 hours. And 3 hours of that was behind the wheel driving. So, yeah, I'll be able to drive down to your sister's. I just have to come up with the funds to pay for a motel room, that's all. Because I sure as hell ain't staying with that crazy bunch in their house. Ain't happening. You
got hospice coming soon enough. You don't want to spend any time in a psych ward.
Right. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, he needs hospice. Can we do that right in the psych ward? Because that's where it is. Why is he there? Well, he went and visited his daughter and her tribe. Yeah, yeah. So, oh, yeah, you won't be letting him out of there for at least 6 months. You'll probably want to stay with the kooks because they make more sense. Yeah. But yeah, that felt good. Take that road trip. I need to put front brake pads on my truck, though. I got one set that's chirping. They got the chirpers on them.
Mm-hmm.
Getting that chirp, 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 chirp when you're let off on the brakes and you're just slowly rolling. Chirp, 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 chirp. Yeah, time for brake pads. But nobody around here is willing to just throw pads on the son of a bitch. No, if the rotors don't look just right, we'll have to insist on new rotors or have them turned. I said, why the hell don't any mechanics anymore nowadays just do what you ask them to do? I used to, God damn, when I was a teenager, young adult, right up to middle age, I could find a local mechanic, go in and say, hey, I want you to replace this for me. And he'd say, well, yeah, but you should replace this, and this. And I tell him, I don't want you to. I just want you to replace this. Okay. It's your choice. Oh, hell no. I mean, like that time I go to Walmart, buy all new tires for the truck I had at the time. Get there, they're going to mount, balance, a whole 9 yards for me. They back the truck in. They page me in the store, and I go back to automotive, and they go, your truck's sitting outside. I said, you already done with it? They said, no, we won't work on it. I said, why not? What do you mean you won't work on it? You just put tires on it. They said, you have a lug bolt missing. Now, that truck had the big-ass 16-inch rims on it. It was a 6-lug pattern. I said, there's 5 lugs in it. It don't need the 6th one. So don't worry about it. Nope. You go take it to a shop, have them replace the lug, and then we'll put your tires on it. So they wouldn't even mount my freaking wheels with 1 lug missing on a wheel. I said, wait a minute, I'm the customer. The customer's always right. And they give me that, well, you might be right, but we're not going to do it. They said, we're not going to touch it. We don't have that shop anymore. Those are those guys down by the pizza pub. And new owners there, and they're not like the old shop, But the old shop that was there, heck, I took that one Dodge Ram in there, and I asked them to throw front and rear brake pads on it. They pull it apart. They put brake pads on, and then they got 3 of them done. They called me in the garage, and they said, we want to show you something. Holy shit. The driver's side, I mean, that whole side of the front end was ready to fall apart, just fall off the damn truck. They said, you still want us to put the brake pads on? They said, that truck ain't safe to drive. And I said, what's it going to cost me to tighten up that front end, get it done? Well, it was going to be $400 bucks. And I said, no. Just throw the brake pads on. And I drove the truck around easy for a month and a half while I listed the truck for sale. And the guy that bought it, I told him, take a look at that front end. It showed him what was bad on the front end. He said, I still want the truck because all I want out of it is the motor and the cab. Putting it right onto another Dodge Ram frame with a good box on it, good front end, good drive line, everything. I just need the motor in the cab. Okay. I said, good luck getting home with it. That front end is shot. He did. He got home with it. Oh, well. But now you just can't. You take something into a garage. If they find something at all, anything at all related to what you want them to put on your truck, they won't, or a car, they won't do it unless they do the whole job, or you go have the whole job done somewhere else, bring it in and have the one thing you wanted done. And and now it's gotten so bad where you bring a vehicle in, anything on it that is considered a safety item, if it's questionable, they can refuse to work on your vehicle unless they fix that too. That's why the suckers want to right away. They want to go through, check his blinkers, his headlights, his windshield washer, everything. Because if we can find something wrong with any of that little shit, that's just more money for us. Because he's got to fix all that shit or else we won't work on the vehicle. It's so rotten. I mean, I want the old days back. Do what I'm paying.
Well, those guys down there, that quick lube place, they can, they're all concerned in bringing up, the ball joints and wheel bearings.
But yet they don't care. They'll still do everything for you.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I know.
They point that shit. They point that shit out to you, and you say, "Yeah, I'm aware of that."
You're gone.
And they just kind of chuckle about it. Okay, just wanted to make sure you knew.
Yeah, they're just there to change oil and filters and send you on your way, top off your fluids.
And it's I like that because they got nothing to gain. They got nothing to gain from it. Hell, they don't even recommend where you take it to have it done. They just point it out. Boop, 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 boop.
Well, see that's something else that I miss is the mechanic you were talking about that was down across town there, type deal where you could take, and if you had the parts, you show up and be like, hey, can you put these on my vehicle? Like, No, anymore? Nope. They have to order the parts and put the parts that they buy on.
Because they got a 10% write-up on all those parts. So you pay full retail value plus 10% of whatever Napa would sell that part to you for. Not what they got it for. They don't say, oh, well, okay, I need such and such a set of bearings. And Napa says, well, they're $49. Well, what they do is they say, okay, that's shop price. What's standard retail? Oh, no, they're $58.50. Okay, so they take $58.50 and add 10% to it, and that's what they sell you the part for. And that guy down there that I used to go to, hell yeah, I don't know how many times I'd show up with the parts right there and say, I got all the parts. I need this done. Are you willing? Oh, yeah, bring it on in. We'll do it. They don't have to hassle with ordering parts or nothing. They get to just labor in where they actually make the money, Okay, Kathy, we'll see you later, sweetie. Take good care of yourself.
Yeah, because I've
FGR, good to see you.
I've called around to a couple different places in town there,
Depression is real.
Wanting to, because I want to get the A-arms, ball joints, and wheel bearings done on, get the front end done on the truck. And, they want to get the parts. I'm like, well, I can order the parts. I know which ones I want. I don't want Napas.
Right.
I know the set I want.
Right.
And I can order those, and they're like, well, no, we can't take and put other parts on. We have to do this and this, and it always comes up to being, $1,500 to $2,000 to get that front end done. And I'm looking at the cost of the parts and the tools, nice pneumatic tools for like compressing those ball joints in and pulling the wheel bearings. I'm like, oh, I could get everything I need for under $600. It's like, well, geez, I'm gonna end up doing it myself, I guess.
Hey, if you're up to it when you get home, he's going to be home in another 10 days. But if you're up to it while you're home, can I throw you under my truck with the Sawzall and have you cut the driver's side? The running board off.
The step.
Yeah. Cut. That some bitch is sagging a little more. And one of these days she's going to come peeling off of there. And it won't take too much with Sawzall. It's just, in fact, I only think it's two arms that are under there. Just saw them off right at the running board, Just
between Sawzall and angle grinders, I'm sure we can get it off there.
Yeah, I was peeking under there a bit. I think Sawzall be all you need. Just stick the Sawzall in there and let her have at it, and she'll come right out of there. It's just my luck. I go lay underneath that son of a bitch. I'll still be there when you do get home. Yeah. I can't count on the weather staying.
Yeah, nice. Have that running board fall on you and you'll be stuck underneath. They can't get it off you.
Yeah. And that's
that running board off you.
That's pretty close out of range of the lifeline. And then even if I did get the lifeline, can you see the ambulance pulling up and going to the house? Well, he ain't in there. No, he's out there stuck under the truck. Hey, depression is real. How am I feeling? I have been so up and down the last 2 weeks. One day I feel like $1 million. Next day I feel like crap. Next day I feel like $1 million. Next day I feel like crap. It's been so up and down. However, this last week, I have to say since about Tuesday, I started feeling pretty good. So I felt pretty good throughout the rest of this week. The only bummer is tomorrow, guess what? Yeah, I got to go in for my chemo. I'm very grateful now that my chemo is every 2 weeks. My white blood cell count pretty much so crashed after several months. Well, I went through quite a few months there of chemo every week. Then they changed my chemo regimen and they put me on 2 chemos 1 week, 1 chemo the next, 2 the next, 1 the next, and that caught up with me. They got the cancer, so it's not growing. They got it just kind of holding its own. It's not growing, though, which I'm glad. I'm glad that they got it to that point at least. And they'll scan me here in another month or so to make sure that it's still working on this 2-week regimen they got me on now. But with the 2-week regimen, the sweet thing about that is when I go into my second week, that's when I start feeling the best. Because the first week of chemo, I feel crappy and fatigued and I have no ambition, nothing. I I just curl up on the couch in the recliner, watch TV, and that gets sickening too. I mean, I've gotten so I don't even like watching TV anymore. The Well, when you've watched everything 5 times now, that I've watched full series that are 400 or 500 hours long just in the last couple of months. I mean, 3 or 4 series that were 400, 600 hours of watch time, and I've watched the full series. And I have to say, I've slept through some of it. I'll fall asleep on the couch, which I don't mind doing as long as I'm home alone. Yeah, all the hugs and hearts to you, Precious Field. You know that. Kimberly Ferris is in the house. It's great to see you, Kimberly. She's shouting out to both you and I there, running water. But yeah, this week was an odd week. I managed to mow at the beginning of the week. I'll be going out there looking at the weather. I wish I didn't have chemo tomorrow. I'd be out there mowing tomorrow. But I'll be out there Tuesday, mow the lawn again. Because we got plenty of rain. So the grass grew in that week. This was the first time where only a week's gone by where the mow definitely could be mowed. Yeah. But then I got to get out there, get a fire under my ass. I got 4 trees that came down. They're not very big around, only about that big around. But I got to buck them up and get them out of the way so I can mow where they're laying. And I haven't been having fires out in the fire pit. And I keep kicking myself in the ass. What did you sit in the house all evening for? You could have been out there around that fire for crying out loud. Every time I think I have enough fire, it's time to go to bed. In fact, this morning was kind of tough. I went to bed early last night, and then I went and woke up at 2:30 this morning, and I'm going, holy smokes, this ain't good. I went to bed at 9, and I woke up at 2:30. I went back to bed at 6:15, 6:15, and I got up at 9. So yeah, I got a shitload of sleep, but I had this big window in the middle of the night, wide awake. When I finally said, that's it, I'm going to go back to bed for a little while, shut everything down, and I look out, I'm going, God, it's awful bright in here. I'm looking out the windows, I'm going, oh shit, the sun's up. Yeah, it's bright out there. Oh well, just pretend it's not, go back to sleep. And I've been eating better. I still can't eat a lot of anything, but I'm eating more frequently and getting more in me than I was. In fact, I got down to 152 pounds, and this morning I was 156. So in the last few days, I came up a few pounds. So I think I'm on the upward trend of weight. Part of it has to do is I got some of my taste buds back, so I'm tasting certain things a little better. Now I'm going to lose that this week again. Damn it. I'll make up for it the week after. the chemo does.
Yeah, losing the taste would be the hard part for me because there's a lot of foods that if it wasn't for the taste, I wouldn't be able to handle the texture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And doesn't that suck though? Certain foods, the texture matters. And then if you don't have that texture, it's like, yeah, I don't want to eat that. Or it's the flavor that matters. I can eat it with that flavor. That's like I had these cheese-filled raviolis, but the tomato sauce that was on them was to die for. I loved the tomato sauce. And I ate away at that. I got down to one ravioli left, and there wasn't, I mean, I'm scraping the bowl, and there ain't no juice left. There ain't no more sauce left. And I ate that cheese ravioli, and boy, did that taste like shit. So, no, if it wasn't for that sauce, I couldn't eat them things. So if I couldn't taste the sauce, no, I ain't eating that. No. This is no shit. I don't know why. I grabbed this can of great value rings and meatballs, right? It's SpaghettiOs and meatballs, but it's great value, right? I don't know why I even threw it in the damn cart. Because the last time I had actual Chef Boyardee or whatever it is, SpaghettiOs, there was no flavor. That, those rings are mushy, and and meatballs are pretty cheap, to say the least. That stinking great value actually had excellent flavor. The noodles were al dente; they weren't mushy, and the meatballs actually had flavor to them. And I'm going, I grabbed the receipt from Walmart. I looked at it and I go, you gotta be kidding me. They're only 97 cents a can. What the hell? I mean,
Yeah. Had that discussion the other day with, you guys at the truck stop talking about how Chef Boyardee doesn't taste like it used to.
no.
That it's so bland anymore.
Yeah, it has become bland. The only one that I would say that it's gotten a little bland is the lasagna one.
Mm-hmm.
And the only one that I felt didn't go bland on them was their beefaroni. Otherwise,
Right.
every one of their other products, bland as can be. I mean, very noticeably bland. So they're getting cheap on us.
Mm-hmm.
That might be why I.
Yeah, they made some change here, on the recipe. Like,
Yeah, and that might something in my subconscious must have said, "No, grab the great value, give that a chance." What the hell, What's the worst thing you're gonna do? Throw it out? No.
Yeah.
So
well, one old trucker, he's like, yeah, you think that's bad? He's like, you should have had the original Twinkies. Going off on how the old Twinkies were great. The new ones, they're just flavorless and just you're munching on a sponge.
They are different. They are different. Us old farts, our memories aren't that distorted, for God's sakes. Yeah, no, Twinkies used to be different. Another thing, this is no shit. This is before I lost my taste buds, in fact. I stopped at the Clam Lake Junction near where I used to host that campground. And for a limited time, they had banana flips. And I'm going, oh, you have got to be freaking kidding me. Now, if I remember right, those were made by Hostess originally. But anyway, I recognized it just by the packaging. It was retro packaging. It was, yeah. And I looked at it. I go, that's it. That's a banana flip. I got in the truck, opened that up, took one bite out of it, pulled it out of the wrapper, pinched it out the window, and said, "No, that ain't it. That is not the original banana flip. Not anymore. That they did not get it right. They did something to it. It's wrong." And that's
they did something to the moon pies, and they just leave stuff alone.
And as far as I'm concerned, with some things, if you're going to screw me, do it by just raising the price. But God Almighty, I used to love nut goodies. Growing up as a kid, my dad would bring nut goodies home for all of us kids. And they came in a square pack, about that square. And the nut goodie filled that pack. It's big, round nut goodie. Had the nice maple center, the nuts. I bought one of them a couple months back. Actually, I bought two. I grabbed two out of the basket. They had a 2-for-1 sale. So I grabbed two, and I thought, shit, it's been years since I've had a nut goodie. Well, it still cost me 89 cents for those two. I didn't notice it till I got home and I got the first one and I opened it up. I could tell this is light as a feather. What the hell? I pulled that little frickin' candy bar out of it. It wasn't much bigger than a silver dollar. I'm going, that's not even a fourth of the original nut goodie.
It's a neutered goodie.
And it's 89 cents. And I was paying, well, I remember when they went from a nickel to a dime and 10 cents a piece for them. What made them 9 times more expensive and only a fourth of the size? Oh, man, were they screwing people? Oh, that was upsetting. That was really upsetting to me. It still tasted like a nut goodie, but it was only 2 bites. Man, as a kid, it would take me 15 minutes to eat the whole damn candy bar. Now it's 15 seconds. You got the whole thing in your mouth. Yeah, Mad J, add pepper. Add pepper to everything. Because at least that burns a little. That's what bothers me, is so many different peppers, even black pepper for me. I can feel the little bit of burn from the more milder peppers. I can feel that little bit of burn, but I can't taste the pepper itself. And I like sweet chili peppers that are, they got a bite, but they're considered a sweet chili. All I get is that little bit of bite. I don't get that nice pepper flavor. But sweet peppers, green, yellow, red, sweet peppers, I can get that flavor. That's why I've got a bunch of pepper plants growing on the porch. Look at this character taking up space in the basement all by himself. Hey. Good to see you, bro.
Yes, sir. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, you gotta add pepper to everything. Me, pepper and parsley.
Parsley, I used to put it with everything. To me, it just didn't seem like much of a flavor additive. But I always like my parsley. I always put parsley on everything.
And parsley is like, for me, it's like a go-to for like for show for pictures. For taste, no, not too much, but
Yeah, but it really does doctor up a dish, or just
exactly.
seeing that color in it makes it more appetizing to
Yeah,
you. You know. Hey,
right.
Shadow, Yorin saying, yeah, and add some Carolina Reaper too. That'll do the thing.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We spice it up right there with Reapers. How
I've
many?
done I've done my fair share of Carolina Reaper in my lifetime. Now I don't touch that shit.
Yeah,
Don't get. Oh my gosh! I got to take the center stage on this one. AK Driller, it is so cool to see you. AK Driller and I go way back, way back. The
right in
he
water. Great to see you, bro. And again, much much love to our host, Mr. Sty.
yes
Much
sir.
love, everybody in chat. Howdy, hey.
AK Driller and I, we go way back. We go way back, and back in my bushcrafting days, and I was doing Sty stories and that, and AK was doing some of his videos at his channel. If you haven't met AK Driller, I mean, you got to flag him and go over check his channel out. He's got some good stuff. You love it. You love it. But he was doing these kind of like question and answer videos where he'd throw something out and he'd like a question and ask you to do a video about that question. You know, you answering that question. It's like one time was, have you ever gone over 100 miles an hour? And do a video on that. So I responded. I would respond to those when he put those up because it was a blast hearing people's stories based on his questions. You know? Yeah, he's another Alaskan for you. Yeah, just wandering by, eh? Well, cool. I'm glad you were wandering by and stumbled right into the Sty Shack. It's great to see you, man. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
And, I cannot give you any NASCAR updates right now because I'm not watching it, but they are in Richmond, Virginia. That I can tell you that.
I was going to say, I thought they were in Virginia this week.
Yeah, and they're in Richmond, but I don't have the page pulled up, so I'm not watching.
No updates, guys.
Sorry. Yeah, Matty J fell on NASCAR.
Yeah, that's one of the things I checked on my trip planning, making sure I wasn't going to run into too much traffic when I come through like Tallahassee or Pensacola, or because I'm running across from Florida on 10, from Jacksonville all the way over to Baton Rouge and heading up towards Dallas. And it's like, okay, I'm going to have the rednecks out while I'm on that trip, and it's like, nope, this is in Virginia. It's like, hey.
Yeah.
Well, if you make Virginia, you already passed my state.
I think I'm anywhere near that. Yeah.
Because running water, you already know I live in North Carolina.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. When I came down to Florida, I came down through Nashville, Chattanooga, Atlanta. Come down 75 all the way down. Delivered by Tampa, picked up over by Orlando, and then because I delivered a load on Friday that was supposed to deliver tomorrow.
You don't run 95?
So, huh?
You don't run 95?
Not if I can help it. I ran for a short bit went up from Orlando and going up to Jacksonville, cut across 10 there, instead of dealing with the Florida Pike.
Yeah.
But yeah, Friday I delivered that load that I'm supposed to deliver tomorrow. So, called this. Hey, I'm going to be sitting all weekend, empty. So they'd have to pay me layover for the weekend. Yeah, they dug around. They found a load for me to pick up Saturday morning, just so they don't have to pay that. It's like, okay, keep me busy. That's fine.
Hey guys, just a second. Hey, AK Driller, you start putting content up. I got your bell rang, so hopefully it'll notify me you get anything going up, because I want to check it out. But you haven't been around for quite a while. I just want a quick update you, just so that you are aware. I'm sure you notice I ain't got the big beard anymore. That's gone. But you probably aren't aware that I do have stage 4 terminal cancer now. So I'm making the best of the tail end of my years, and by hanging out on here every Sunday for sure. And I'm hoping I can get some content. I got one of the first times my lawn got mowed this year. I've got content from Cheesehead Chris coming and mowing my lawn for me. It's there. I just haven't finished editing it. I got to get it up this week. And Friday, I jumped in the truck to go get smokes in town. Got there, got my smokes, got back in the truck, started driving down the road. Now, I haven't been behind the wheel for more than, let's see, the longest would have been about 20 minutes. I'm not kidding you. Where I haven't driven any distance further than 20 minutes. Well, Friday, I got a wild hair up my ass. I come out of that store with my smokes, got in the truck, started going down the road. I got to it's Highway 13. It's a state highway running south out of our town. And it's about 65 miles down to Black Lake Campground. I just got wild hair up my ass. So I took off, headed south, went down to Black Lake Campground, met with my buddy down there, the Adventures of the Campground host down there, Travis. Spent a couple hours hanging out, BSing, and then took the long drive back home. And it was a blast. I had about a little over 3 hours behind the wheel. That trip I can usually make in about 2 hours, 45 minutes. But we got one town, they're replacing the bridge. And running water, if you're heading south out of Ashland, I don't think that detour would be a problem for you. Because that's all they're doing is that damn bridge. I was on that detour for a half an hour yesterday.
No, I'm not sure.
Driving in circles. All you got to make sure to do is follow the sign that says 13 South, and you can get south of that bridge construction without a problem.
Okay, I saw that they were.
But coming north, don't do it.
Yeah,
don't do it, because coming north is an SOB. Boy, you're on the east side.
Just grab like 70 or 95 and come visit me, North Carolina.
But I tell you, running water, heading south look good. I'd say in a tractor trailer, I'd take it. But coming north, no way.
I was looking at how it was routing on north and south, because it's showing you different ways on the GPS.
Yeah.
And I was like, I bet you they took and said no trucks through there, just so, because they know the truckers are too damn stupid to understand that it's only the northbound that can't go through there. Yeah.
Well, northbound, it's taking you around the eastern edge of town. People don't realize how big the town of Mellon really is. until you get over on that east side and get behind town. And then there's all that residential crap back in there. And it's real weavy. And all it does is it brings you back around where that Dollar General is, Highway 169. Brings you out right there. It's from
Nick North's gonna be like coming to visit you.
Okay.
Go up through Canada, come back down.
But yeah, I ended up driving all around through town, trying every residential street to try to find a spot I could sneak my way onto northbound 13. No, they got her shut down tight. You ain't getting it. Nope. But they're allowing traffic to run all the way down to Double G, heading south. But north, no, you're south of the bridge, and you end up driving through all the backcountry, frickin' residential areas and shit. And
I remember coming across Double G with the truck when they had that flooding.
Backcountry roads. This is back town roads. You're in. I mean, you're in residential.
Try that in a small town.
Yeah. Well, this is
what I'm talking about. Try that in a small town. Jason Aldean. Heck yeah.
Well, that's the thing with this small town is you could run north. Well, I know you can because I had one in front of me and one behind me all the way through that shit. The logging trucks are running north up through all that shit.
Right. They got the mill right there in town. You know, they can't tell the mill they can't run until they fix the bridge. Yeah.
Well, and the local drivers ain't gonna listen to them.
Hey, I gotta call Sty, so I'm gotta drop down.
You bet. That's all right.
I don't know how long you're gonna be on, but I'll try to pop back up.
I'll be on for another hour. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Wolf, you snuck in. Hey, good to see ya. Native Kutsa. Wolf. And she's throwing them up. Yeah. But I tell you what, and then I was surprised, Double G, except for about maybe 3 to 4 mile stretch, right where the campground was I hosted. Starting from that campground heading east up GG, actually it's north because GG kind of runs east-west and heads due south, but from that campground heading towards the town of Mellon, they're not done with the damn road. Otherwise, that whole road, they resurfaced the whole damn thing, all fresh blacktop paint. It's sweet. I look down at the Speedo and I'm going, whoa, shit. I'm going around what are marked as 45 mile an hour curves, and I'm clipping along at 70. Yeah, they got that road bed rebuilt really nice. I mean, yeah, she's good driving down there.
The real question is, did they add any shoulder to it? Or is it still as narrow?
It's still narrow. If you're on an inside turn, curve, you still get that extra big patch of blacktop on your side. So the tractor trailer tires don't go off the blacktop. I like those curves like that because I can hit them a little faster because I suck over into that shoulder. By the time I'm coming out of the curve, I'm just getting out towards the center line,
Yep. Accelerate out. Yeah.
And then I find out they had this Pinocchio Mountain bicycle race Friday, and I go flying through there doing about 65 and a 40, right where the National Forest Service rest area is. And all of a sudden there's mountain bikes everywhere. Everywhere. And what they do is they run this bicycle race on the ski trail, cross-country ski trail. Not there. They got about a 1 mile stretch. They come out on the road and then they cross over onto the trail again. There's mountain bikes all over the place, and I'm doing 65 and a 40. And yeah, I didn't hit any of them. That's pretty cool. Hey, James Gipes in the house. Great to see ya.
That's the time of year for all those.
You're breaking up a bit there, Running Water. Oh, that's really broke up. He's gone. Oh boy. Yeah, heck, I wasn't even thinking. I was thinking this morning, heck, after the live stream tonight, I'll try to have a good meal. Then I'll play some PlayStation. There, you're good. But I thought, yeah, I'll play some PlayStation tonight. I haven't played PlayStation in 3 weeks. I just haven't been up to it. And
speaking of which, I got something for you. It's in one of those boxes. Well, when we were planning for the, setting up that stand, and I was thinking about it, it's just like, well, for the PlayStation, if it's standing up there, that's kind of awkward. Well, I got one of those horizontal cooling stands for it, so that we can slide that shelf underneath the corner of the TV.
Ass.
And it'll shave good 6 inches off the height of that damn thing.
Oh, yeah. Probably 10 inches off of it. I was thinking about that just the other day. I was thinking, well, figure out a way we can lay that thing flat. Then we don't have to worry about it because it's designed to lay flat. Except reviews I've seen said that that's when it really tends to overheat, is when it's mounted flat. And oh my gosh, you should have seen, okay, just to show how this week went. You won't believe this shit, folks. I believe it was on Tuesday. I get a phone call from my daughter, and we're chatting away, and all of a sudden she goes, I got a call coming in. Let me grab it. It'll only take a moment. I'll be right back. I said, yeah, I'll be here. I'll just hang on. Took almost 15 minutes. She comes back on and she goes, I'm sending some pictures to you and a video. I go, really? She goes, yeah, you got to see this video. I go, what's going on? She goes, the kids, she's talking about one of her kids, my grandson and his wife and their little baby. He's only 6 months old. The apartment building they lived in, because they ain't living in it now, got hit by a tornado. It peeled the roof right off of that damn building. The upper floor is just wiped out. They live downstairs. They said the only damage in their apartment is where the kitchen ceiling was starting to be caved in from weight of debris up above pushing down on it, on the floor joist. every vehicle in that parking lot for that apartment building. Well, actually, there's two or three apartment buildings there, and theirs was the only one that hit direct hit. Every single car in that parking lot was declared. They were all declared total losses. Every one of them. Every one of them had couches and chairs through their windshields. Big chunks of the building right flattening their cars out. But my grandson's truck, not a scratch on it. He said, that wind had to been powerful because he says, my truck was actually clean. He says it was blowing so hard that it clean. Like you went through the car wash and then went through the high pressure blower at the end. He says it blew my truck clean. But immediately after the storm, EMS and all of them show up. Fortunately, no bad injuries or anything. And the police department was there, and the fire department. They condemned the building immediately, told everybody they weren't allowed to go back in for anything. I said, you have got to be kidding me. And she said, no. And I said, now, when the hell did this happen? She said, just about an hour ago. I said, what? She said, yeah. It was only an hour ago that it hit them, and they're finally getting a hold of me. Well, the video was, yeah, you really see the damage. And it's I guess I'll call her my granddaughter, not my granddaughter-in-law. She treats me just as good, if not better, than my other granddaughters. But here it's my grandson's wife is the person they're interviewing for the news, about what it was like to ride out the storm in that building. And it was nice of her because she bragged out the community, the people around where they live, people from the whole neighborhood. She says people within 6 or 8 blocks of them, they were all there instantly trying to help people out. She said it was awesome the way those people showed up. But what was really disturbing, and I said, welcome to your era, were all of the people that showed up and were laughing and making jokes about, oh, well, whoever lived at such apartment up there, her underwear's blown halfway across town and stuff. And they were all teenagers and young adults. And they're all out there with their phones filming and telling jokes and making memes and doing selfies with them standing in front of the condemned building. And she said, well, all the residents from that building are out there just totally confused what to do next. And what do they do? Where do they go? They lost everything. And these people are out there making fun of them, making fun of the incident and that. And she said that was so, she said it had all these good people trying to help them out, and then all these bad people. She said the worst part of it was about 50-50. For every good person, there was a bad person. That's how many bad people showed up and just made a mockery of the whole thing. And she said, of course, they were arguing with the fire department and arguing with the police department that they had the right to be there and they had the right to get up by the building and this and that. The residents weren't even allowed to get near the building, but these punks insisted they had the right to be there. And some of them started taking things. that were blown all around the parking lot and stuff. They started helping themselves to people's belongings. And the cops said there's nothing they can do about it because it's technically not looting. That is bullshit, because I've seen tornadoes several times over the years, and every time I've seen one, the community immediately announces, do not take personal belongings that are blown around the scene. Those are still the property of those homeowners and those renters. Oh no, not this incident. They are just digging through stuff, helping themselves. Yeah. I'm short for this life in this country. You guys got to stick it out. Have fun straightening that shit out. For people to lose that much caring and respect for others, that's outrageous. So anyway, that same Tuesday, I got a phone call. Mind you, this phone call is at about 10:30 at night. And I look and I go, oh, it's my granddaughter, the one that went through the storm. I thought she's just going to touch base, let me know that her and the baby and my grandson are okay. She knows that my priority is her and the baby, and how's Owen. But she says, are you up to any company? I said, well, when? And she said, say tomorrow morning. That wasn't going to work. I was going to have a hospice nurse here. I said, man, tomorrow morning, I don't know how that's going to work. And she said, or even tonight, if you're up to it. I looked at the clock and I go, my God, girl, it's 11 o'clock at night. And no, yeah, how could you be up here? You live almost 4 hours away. Oh, we headed up here not long after we left the apartment. She said we got settled at Mom's because we're going to stay there till we figure out where we can move to. And she said we just needed to get the hell away. So we decided we're going to head up here. I said, then come on over. So they came over at 11 o'clock at night. They didn't leave till 2 o'clock in the morning. So they spent 3 hours visiting. I got to see my great-great-grandson. My great-grandson, sorry. Great-great. No, I ain't got no great-greats. I shouldn't have any great-greats. No. But got to play with him for a while. He's a handful. The kid's 6 months old, and he's crawling, and he weighs 20 pounds. Well, that's the heaviest 20 pounds I've packed around. I mean, because the kid's moving all the time. I kept him on my lap for about a half an hour. And finally, I was wore out. I said, you come and take this beast off my lap. I said, this kid is too much. I said, he's heavier than shit. I said, no. They said, yeah, he's getting big. Yeah, he's way ahead of himself. But so those kids lost their apartment, lost their home, came up here and visited me. And hey, Shadow, thanks so much for being here. Totally understand. You go ahead and bounce on out. You betcha. And there's Owen. His ears must have been ringing. Yeah, he's talking about me. So, no more than a day goes by. They get a hold of me again. Well, my daughter calls me and says, can the kids stop by to see you? they're planning a trip up there. Or they are on their way up there or whatever. And I said, yeah, them goofballs, they were just here. Well, here it's Owen, Skylar, his wife, and Atlas, the baby, and it's William, his honey. William is Owen's older brother. And so I got my two grandsons, their better halves, and the great grandson coming and visiting me. This all happened in a couple of days. It was just like, what the heck? Last week was busy, man. And then the following day, I had my youngest boy shows up. He calls me and says, hey, can I stop over? I said, well, yeah, sure. Because this fella that stops and sees me every Wednesday, he didn't show up for some reason. So I told him, yeah, he was supposed to be here, but he ain't here, so come on over. So he comes over. He ain't here but maybe 15, 20 minutes, and here comes the fella that was coming to visit with me. So I end up with the two of them hanging around for almost 3 hours. And it's like every time I turn around, there was somebody here. The week that I felt the best, I had somebody here every dang day, which meant I couldn't get nothing done. So it was a bittersweet week, you know? Hey, plain old Chuck. Yeah, he snuck in and he says to Shadow, he said, don't leave because I came. Oh, that's somebody taking advantage of that. Run out. Hey, Adam, good to see you. There's Adam. Adam JB Games. How am I doing? I'm holding my own. Stage 4 cancer ain't got me yet. I was asked a serious question during the week that if I were to decide, in the moment, the way I feel, my progress or lack of progress, how long I would last, I told him, I said, I think I'll see one more Christmas. I can't guarantee an Easter, but I'm pretty sure I can make another Christmas that I'm not bedbound, you know, that I'll be still up and moving around come Christmas. That isn't that far off. But I said, I don't think I'll get beyond Easter probably. Well, they kind of giggled and they said, you never know. I said, well, you don't. So Mariah, there's my daughter. We were in the truck listening to you on Bluetooth on an impossible mission of life again. You've been a bit rough over here. Be we surviving? She says, love you, Dad. And she goes, you too, brother. So she loves you too.
That sounds suspicious.
Yeah. What's she up to that she loves you today? Right?
Yeah. What you want?
Yeah. Uh-oh. Adam, you're a strong mother, my brother. Physically, not anymore. You should see when I go up the stairs and I got to grab the rail, pulling me up the stairs. I can see both the bones in my arm. And I could put my fingers right between the two of them. if they wanted to examine my bones in my body right now, they don't need to take X-rays. Just feel. Yeah, that one's broken. Boy,
Run a flashlight behind it.
yeah, run a flashlight behind it. Yeah, yeah. Um, I I would, and it's not a pat on my back in any for any means, but I'd say I'm tough. I'm not strong. I'm tough. Just trying to be as tough as I can. You know. Oh, get married in 5 days. So stick around for it. Awesome. Congrats. And Mariah said, yes, you too, Dingy. Yeah, yeah. Old nickname of his when he was little, when all the kids were little. Dingy. Yeah, it don't hurt to be a little dingy in life. That's like my youngest boy, Josiah. Everybody calls him Joe, of course, except for me for years as a kid. Do you remember what I called him, running water?
Fred.
Fred. I never called my own kid by his first name. It was, hey, Fred. And he responded to it. So, yeah, I just kept using it.
Yeah, well, anyone would ask about Dingy, like, well, don't that make you upset? I'm like, well, whenever the ship's sinking, what's the first thing you go for?
The dinghy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a pretty colorful family, I would say. Yeah. I'll never forget the days when he was a teenager, man. I swear to God, you sit him down, he'll eat four full meals per sitting. When he was a teenager, I don't know how he's burning it off because he was slim as a teenager. I mean, quite slim, but boy, could he eat like oh. And so it became a standing joke in our household that if there were any leftovers, if you wanted to keep those, you would say, hey, Dingy, take the food on the table, put it in some containers, and get it in the fridge. You never said to him, Dingy, get rid of the leftovers.
Yeah, put them away.
Put away the leftovers. He did. He'd sit there and put them right away. I mean, he'd eat everything that was left over. Yeah, you never said, put away the leftovers. Dingy would eat them up. You had to say, take the food, put it in a container, and put it in the fridge or the freezer. Otherwise, if you said put it away or get rid of the leftovers, no, he did. Yeah, right down the hatch. Yeah. Hey, AK. Got to get some work done. I'll see if I can come up with a good story question. There you go, buddy. Adam's got a 600-mile drive in the morning to get family for the day. Stay safe, stay awesome. You too, bud. Oh man, 600-mile drive when it's a personal drive,
Mm-hmm.
I like 600-mile drives when you're getting paid for it. Yeah. Lori saying, Sty, I'm going to get going now. I'll talk to you next Sunday. Good night, everyone. Good night. Yeah, it is so great to see you, Lori. You have a good week. I hope your week goes well for you. I hope it does. I had someone ask me the other day, AK, good to see you laughing later, friend. I Life is precious. Your whole life should be precious. I just, yeah, I laugh and smile. I'm not, they keep having me at that cancer center. They keep saying, we need you to come and talk with our stage 4 patients, those that know their end is near. I go, you don't want me talking to them people. And they keep saying, well, yeah, you're so inspiring, and just your smile, and you love to tell stories that are uplifting and make you smile or laugh. And they said that's what these people need. I said they also, a large number of them also be, one thing they really need is someone to tell them, put a smile on your face coming from your end, not because of me, but coming from your end, because you're acting like you're giving up. I think that's the first thing that should be said to you when you're born. They slap you on the butt, get you to scream and then the doctor should say, if you want to really hear something to scream about, guess what? This is the first day of the rest of your death. Because every one of us are born to die. We're all going to die in our time. And damn it, we need to make the best of it, not the worst of it. And I get so tired of seeing people just giving up. Giving up. I had someone a couple of weeks ago say to me, I just don't care about nothing. I'm not cooperating with these damn doctors or anybody else. I'm just not doing nothing. I'm bitter. I'm pissed. I just hate this. And I go, what a nice way to go. And they said, well, I'll go quicker than you. I said, not quick enough. I said, if you're going to be miserable like that, you might as well go now. If you're not going to try to make the best out of something out of each day decent, why are you wasting your time sticking around? Just give up, and literally give up. Quit eating. What the hell? Quit taking your meds. What the hell? You're dying anyway, right? No, I still eat. I still get my meds. I still go through treatments. Because if I get one extra day, somewhere in there it's going to be one extra good day. You don't get extra bad days by fighting it. What you get is extra good days and the same amount of bad days at the end. But every day you can stretch that out. You're just adding one more good day you can add. So, yeah, giving up isn't worth it. And I'll tell you what, I tell them people flat out, you don't think I get frustrated? You don't think I get pissed off? You don't think that I got days I sit freaking feel sorry for myself all goddamn day? I don't read. I don't watch TV. I don't do nothing. Just sit on the couch and sulk, and be pissed off at the world, at myself. But then I realize, boy, did I just waste a day of my life, man. I could have done something to cheer myself up instead of sitting here throwing fuel on the fire and just depressing myself all fucking day. And I've been told by the staff at the cancer center, you're right. These people need to hear that. They need to hear, quit feeling sorry for yourself and take control of what time you have left. Take control of that and decide how is it going to be? Am I going to have a good day or am I going to have a bad day? Make that choice. Don't let others make it for you. Now, at this cancer center, it's all about quality of life. We're going to do whatever we can to try to stop that cancer. But along with it, we're going to do everything we can to make sure you've got a decent quality of life to go with it. That's why I'm on the new chemo regimen I'm on, is because they said I was losing too much quality of life under the old chemo I was getting. Yeah, Lori, it's so easy. It's so easy to find yourself feeling bad for yourself and just you start feeling like you're a huge disappointment, you know, and you really aren't. You're not a disappointment. If you're a disappointment to somebody else, tell them to go to hell. You don't need to listen to their bullshit. It's when you start being a disappointment in yourself. You gotta stop and say, hey, the things that are happening to me are out of my control. What can I do that's in my control? Doggone it, there's got to be something. Even if you start thinking about, I got to find something, damn it, to cheer me up. That in itself is a step in the right direction. That's what keeps you going. That's what keeps you going. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I had a couple of days where, oh my God, I really thought I was going downhill fast, man. Oh man, if this keeps up for a week or 2 or 3, I won't even see. Heck, I'll be damn lucky to see Halloween. I might not make it to Labor Day. That's the way I was feeling. And then it's pull yourself out of that ditch, doggone it. Because if I'm gone come Labor Day, well, then I better make the best out of every stinking day I got. Because that ain't a lot of days away. Oh, 40 days? Well, why waste a day of feeling sorry for yourself if all you got is 40 days? No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't let yourself become convinced that being here's not worth it. Being here's worth it. If you got a strong faith and belief of an afterlife, yeah, there's times where it gets to the point where you go, oh, that'd be so much better than what I'm going through right now. But then I think about the people I'm leaving behind. And not only the survivors, those that I leave behind, but myself, believing in an afterlife. Well, until they're gone, I won't be talking to them and seeing them again. And I had someone use that example with me the other day. Said, yeah, you think about it. If you die young enough, and you're leaving all your friends and family behind. Well, you better make the best out of what days you got, because you ain't going to talk to them again until they're passed on to the afterlife. So make the best of it now while you wait out meeting up with them again someday. And that's it. That's it, you know. Yeah, it's a tough thing. I know. I get it. And every person deals with it differently. You know, we all think we know how we would deal with the end when it comes. Boy, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to warn you in advance. He definitely had to be there. Everything I thought about how I would deal with that kind of news went right out the window. It went right out the damn window. It wasn't nearly what I had imagined it would be. So many things were worse than I ever imagined them to be. So many things were better than I ever imagined them to be. So, when that time comes, we all deal with it differently, but I believe it's best for all of us to deal with it with a smile on our face. That's why I'm trying to think back. Oh, Lord. I think it was I don't even remember if I attended my grandmother's funeral. I know I attended my uncle's funeral. But I don't do funerals anymore. I don't do funerals because everybody is there to cry on each other's shoulders and then have a great time at the potluck dinner afterwards. Funerals are for the living, not for the dead. I had someone tell me, "Are you going to so-and-so's funeral?" I said, "No, you won't see me there." And they said, "Well, that's so disrespectful. Disrespectful to their spouse and their family." And I said, "How dare you? Back off." They said, "Well, the worst part is you're not showing any respect to him. He passed away." I said, "You think he's there? Am I going to get to sit and have a conversation with him and show him some respect?" I said, "Once you're dead, it's too late to get any respect." I said, "Funerals are for the living. They're not for the dead. The dead are gone. They're gone. Funerals are for the living. And if you want to mourn that way, do so. But I haven't seen anything where I'm required to, oh my gosh, I gotta go. I gotta switch to this. Mariah, my daughter, saying, "Gotta go, Wally World or bust." Hate that dang store. Head to Walmart. Now they need to tell the kids about many Valley Fair trips came up. Acting like sardines. Yeah, well, we had a blast, didn't we? Those were the good old days. Pack the whole family in the station wagon and go on an adventure. What the heck? Hi, Gemma. Great to see you, girl.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When I think of when Grandma died, had people asking, well, aren't you going? Like, well, no. And they're like, well, why not? I'm like, because. I said, I know my grandma. She'd haunt me from the grave if I took and skirted on my responsibilities just to come look at her corpse.
Uh-huh.
It's
Because
like you have a responsibility. You got to work. You work.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
See, and that's the thing. I didn't go to my own mother's funeral. Well, oddly enough, that was the one funeral I didn't want to miss. And I knew she wasn't going to be there. She was cremated. So I knew she wasn't going to be there at all, not even in the physical form. But I also knew that she firmly believed when the breath stops, you're no longer here. And can't help but believe that she's in a better place because she was willing and able and happy to go. And I I felt that I should have been there to help the family, especially my oldest sister, deal with some of the affairs that needed to be dealt with. My poor sister, she was the executor and she took it all on her and her husband, and they did an awesome job. But they could have used the support too. And I was employed at the time with, Dollar Tree. Could I go to my mother's funeral? Absolutely not, because they said you can go. But before you leave, you might as well drop off your keys and everything so you don't have to mess with it when you get back, because you won't have a job when you get back. It's unauthorized leave. They don't have funeral time or anything like that at Dollar Tree. I told them all I want is 48 hours. And they said, you can't have it. You can't have it. Well, they pulled that on me when I called in and I said, I'm feeling awful ill today. Now, I had had open heart surgery just about a year earlier. And I had said, I told them, I said, no, I'm not kidding. I'm really feeling rough. And they said, doesn't matter. You got to come into work. You don't have any leave coming. You had to be there. Not only did you need a lot of seniority, but you had to be in a management position to even qualify for any kind of time off whatsoever. Well, I was just newly in the management position, so I hadn't earned any time off yet. But I told them, I said, I don't care about the pay. I just want to know that I got a job to come back to, but I cannot work today. I am so ill. Well, I work nights, and I would start at about 2:00 in the afternoon. And they wouldn't let me have time off, so I went into work. I got inside the sliding doors, double sliding doors. I got all the way into the store. One of my cashiers and my stock person came running up to me and they go, what is wrong with you? And I go, why? And they said, your skin looks like the color of ashes out of a fire pit. You are ashen gray. And I go, that's because I'm really, and I never got the word sick out. Boom, I hit the floor. After about 4 or 5 minutes of laying on the floor holding my gut because my gut hurt so bad and my chest hurt really bad. I got up off the floor and I told him, I said, you know the phone number, go in the office, call district manager and tell her to fuck herself. I'm going to the hospital. And they helped me up and I walked out to my truck and I drove myself to the hospital. They argued with me. They wanted to life flight me, but they agreed to take me by ground ambulance up to the hospital. It's a little over an hour's drive, but they wanted to life flight me. I get up there. Here, I had the largest gallstone that this surgeon had ever removed. He says, I can't believe that you did not rupture because of that devil. And he showed me the gallstone, and it was jagged on the one side. He said, that should have cut through you like a razor blade. He said, we were very nervous getting it out of you because it was ready to rupture. And he said, you're lucky you made it when you did. I said, I'm lucky I didn't die at the Dollar Tree. If I would have followed their policy, I would have, you know? And Dollar Tree was pushing my district manager, who is 4.5 hours west from my store. I mean, she might as well be in another country. They were pushing her to terminate me for taking time without leave. She said the man had to have major surgery. He could have easily lost his life. And guess what? He only took 2 days off. And both of those days he was in the hospital. She said, so no, he's not getting fired for that. She said, and I told her, I said, they're not going to let you get away with that. They're going to make you fire me. And she said, they can't now. And I said, why is that? She says, come in the office. Go in, and she pulls up the time schedules, you know, the work schedules. And I go, but, and she goes, no, you were off those 2 days. You weren't scheduled to work those 2 days. Oh, she went retroactive, went back, changed the schedule so I wasn't working on those 2 days. They were my days off. It was pretty awesome. Hey, Mr. Fulton. Still celebrating his birthday week. That's sunburn. Yeah. One of the hazards of being outdoors. What's Chuck saying here? I went to the funeral home once, and the director met me outside and asked me if I was a mourner. That confused me. I always thought a mourner was just a little sooner than nooner. I'm not a mourner. Yeah, I'm a middayer. Yeah. Don't catch me in the morning. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, right. When I decided to quit going to funerals, the only thing I realized I truly missed about funerals was seeing people that I had never, ever seen before. But yet the person that died was an immediate family member. What kind of secrets did they have outside the family that this total stranger is here, you know? And then you talk to them and you find out, I don't even think they knew the person that died. I think they're just here for the food. Then I find out from a family friend at the time that he would do that before he got married. He'd look at the obituaries, and if the name looked familiar, he'd go to the funeral for the food. And he would just tell people, well, I didn't know him well, but he was a good acquaintance of mine. Oh, okay. And he gets to eat all the food. He says, hell, some of them funerals, they'd even send me home with leftovers. And I said, but at least they were an acquaintance. He says, no, that's what I told them. No, he was there just for the food. He didn't know the person. That told me I knew it. I know there's freeloaders showing up and they're just coming for the meal. That's it.
I had a guy I drove with that he was saying that, his family was upset because he wasn't showing up to his mom's funeral. And I was like, well, the company we were with, I'm like, well, they're really good about getting you home. They'll put you on a plane if you need to. You're going to get home for that. He's like, why? I can't stand any of those people, and my mom's the only one out of the whole family that could cook. There's no reason to be there.
Right. We lost our cook. I mean,
yeah, he's like, she's the one that always cooks for every funeral and every family get together, and now she's gone. What's the point of going?
There probably won't be any food. Right. Hey, Gemma, sweetie, you did not have to do that, girl. And yes, I love you to death, girl. I love you to death. You're such a sweetheart. Yeah. And yes, I tell you what, I brag about your channel all the time, especially if anybody brings up any behavioral issues with children growing up. And they've got, I don't care what type of issues they're having. It's just those kids need to be understood first, not, oh, that kid's sick, Okay, the kid behaves differently than some other kids. If you can figure out why, that's better yet. Brings closure to it. But with autistic kids, so many of them still fall through the cracks because people just don't try to understand them. My little granddaughter, my youngest granddaughter, not great grandchild, but my granddaughter, and she's only a couple of years old. She has such a severe disease. It's not curable, just treatable. Things they can do for treatments, but not curable. The rest of her life, she will live with it. It's White Sutton's disease. And we're learning more and more every day about some of the conditions that she has. We're learning why she has those conditions. And she's got this, there's an actual term for it, but it's this funky eye issue that has to do with the cornea, both eyes. And she recognizes things she identifies things by patterns or by color. She could look at your face all day long and not recognize you the next day. It's not because she doesn't remember who you are. She doesn't recognize your face. She recognized mine back when I had the big beard. She knew I was Grandpa. because of that big beard. That's what she related to me, was Grandpa is in camouflage and has a big beard. If I were to put on a bright colored shirt and shave my beard off, she wouldn't know who I was. She would not know who I was. Another thing she has is where her vision, she doesn't see anything. You know, we talk about peripheral vision. How far can you see to the side, you know? About 180 degrees. She's got perfect peripheral. She's looking through a slot. She's not seeing things up there. She's not seeing things down there. So she'll trip over things so easily because it affects her depth perception. So if she sees something on the floor, it goes out of her range of sight, and she's still 3-4 feet away from it. And she'll walk right into it, trip over it, because she doesn't know where it is. So knowing those things, that's where you put things against walls. Don't have it in the middle of the floor because she'll trip over it. Don't try to wear the same color every time you deal with her. And then she will relate that color to you. If you've got a t-shirt with a saying on the front, a big saying on the front, and she's spending a lot of time with you, and you wear that, well, that's washing that shirt a couple times a week, because every time you're with her, wear that shirt, and she'll recognize you the minute she sees the shirt, where it would take her so much time to realize who she's dealing with. And so, yeah, it's Gemma said, yeah, I know you for your beard, but most of all, your personality. She says things like this all the time. She's saying, you're the most sweetest, genuine man. I'm honored that you feel that way, Gemma. I really am. I'm honored that you do. But I don't see that in me. I just don't see that in me. Genuine, pretty much. Yeah. In my later years, I've become quite genuine. I don't like the BS in the world. And I figured the best way to not participate in it is to just be true to yourself and genuine, you know. Say what you think. Say what you feel. It's like I told my youngest boy, I say it the way I see it, or the way I saw it, or the way I hear it, or the way I've heard it, or the way I'm experiencing it, or have experienced it. And if you consider that wrong, that I'm wrong, shut up about it. Just let me be wrong. Aren't you man enough to just let me be wrong? I'm willing to accept somebody for being wrong. Why the hell can't you? My youngest boy had the hardest time with that. He couldn't accept the fact that it don't matter whether you agree with me on that. Is it life-threatening? If it isn't, so what? You don't agree with me. Can't you give me that? Can't you say, well, yeah.
Yeah, you're not in the cockpit of a commercial plane or something, you know.
Right.
Where being wrong is going to harm anybody.
Right. especially when he had that big blow up over the two of us recalling an incident with this cat differently. I told him, I said, I could have ended this conversation way back when the incident with the cat happened. And he goes, but you're bringing it up today. I said, we wouldn't have to if I would have killed the fucking cat back then. I would have just killed the cat. The only conversation we could have today is I killed the cat. And we'd both agree with that. And he'd still be pissed off, by the way, if I killed his cat. But thank you, Gemma. And I try to reassure people when I get to know them personally that try to reassure them that when we have a personal conversation, it's a private, personal conversation. I take ownership of that, of what the other person has to say. I take ownership of that. And it's not to be shared with somebody else because you gave that to me. I don't have the right to give that away to somebody else, that's how rumors start, where you can't have that confidence in somebody else and you say something and you learn the hard way. Yeah, they like to repeat everything I say. That's unless my friends say something that I know will get people to bend over and laugh, I'll pretty much so keep that to myself. But if it's going to help other people have a chuckle, I'll share that, but not at the expense of somebody that I know. I'll never repeat something at their expense. Well, Gemma, I tell you what, you have come such a very, very long way since I've known you. You have come so far, so far. Very, very proud of you, girl. JCT's still here. She's doing what Native Kutsa does. Yep, spying on us. Well, I was going to shut down 15 minutes ago. We'll just let her go for another 15 and then I'll shut her down. Still early enough for me to have a good meal and get prepared for tomorrow. Go sit in a cancer clinic for good 5 hours, maybe 6. Hopefully it's shorter, 4. Let's see, I got my pre-treatment meds take 40 minutes, and each of my chemos take 20 minutes, and there's about a 15-minute lapse between all 3 of those. Unless the doctor's got some special trick up their sleeves, So I might be able to get out of there by 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. Early appointment tomorrow. Not as blasted early as the last one, but still early for me. 8:30. I got to be there by 8:15. So for a guy that don't get up until 10 o'clock in the morning. 8:30 is an early rise. It was a bummer last time. I had to be there by just a little after 7. And that meant I had to get up 5 o'clock in the morning. So that was a bummer when I usually don't go to bed till 5 in the morning, for crying out loud, you know. Go to bed at 5 o'clock in the morning, get up at 10. Yeah. Well, thanks, Gemma. Thanks. I've brought people down with my stupid illness and everything so much, and I try to counter that by just being positive for people, you know, and taking special notice when people excel, when they do well. If they deserve it, it should be shouted out, you know. There he is. He's right back.
Yeah, for some reason, there's not much cell signal coming across the swamp bridge down here in Louisiana.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
I don't know. So Gator must have gotten a control box somewhere.
You know, they really need to upgrade that Cajun Telecom.
Yeah. I was watching this video of this guy. It was weird because the video was actually about hyenas. And to me, hyenas are, I don't know why the good Lord ever made them buggers. Yeah. As if they got something to laugh about. Look in the mirror. But anyway, so he's got this little documentary about hyenas. And I couldn't believe the expression on this guy. He's driving in this African outback, wherever the hell he was out there, looking for this pack of hyenas. And all of a sudden, you can hear his cell phone ringing. And he's got a camera on the dash, you know, recording him. And he starts jumping around in his truck like, oh, what the hell? What the hell? And his expressions were the knife. And then all of a sudden, he's digging around in his backpack. And he pulls his cell phone out and he looks at it and he goes, just a second. Yeah, hello? Oh, what? No. You got a wrong number. And he hangs the phone up and he looks at it again. And he goes, I've got 4 bars on my phone of reception, and I'm in the middle of Africa. And then all of a sudden he goes, oh my gosh, and he sets the phone down his lap, and he grabs the camera, turns the camera, he goes, look at that. Here's this real shacky looking building, and it's got a cell tower on the top of the damn thing. And he drives by and there was a sign. I'm trying to remember what the hell it was, but it was some governmental unit, whatever country it was in, that they had a cell tower out there in the middle of nowhere. He said there must be a military base or something close by, because he said he was told there's no cell phone out here, satellite phone only. He said, not right here. And he turned his camera and panning the scenery. Oh no, it's just like watching National Geographic. He in the middle of nowhere, and he's got the strongest cell phone service. And he kind of joked about it. He said, "I bet you nothing goes wrong anywhere within the reach of this service. Nobody has a vehicle breakdown. Nothing ever goes wrong. But you get 2 miles outside of that service, and that's where everything happens." Holy smokes! What was that? What's
Oh,
beeping?
that is the pre-pass
Oh,
transponder on the windshield. Coming up on a scale. They scan that. They get to see all my permits and everything, and
yeah, yeah.
my hours of service. They get to see everything. My logs and everything. And and the computer just runs it through its thing. It's like, oh yeah, it looks good. Got the static scale you roll across right before the scanner. So it's like, yeah, your weight's good, your permits are good. Keep going, and
Keep
just roll
going.
right past the weigh
Yeah.
station.
I wish they had something like that, even when they wouldn't let you just blow by, just to remind you there's a scale. I've blown by scales because I wasn't paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they didn't have no flashing signs or nothing. They just had scale ahead, and they had the flop down, open or close signs. And I'm not paying attention. Didn't see if it was open or closed. And blow right by it, and I look off to the right, and oh shit, there's 4 trucks lined up at the scale weighing, and I'm just blowing by, just just hoping and hoping and hoping. No state trooper chases my ass down. Only a couple of
Yeah.
times they stop me and say, "Yeah, we're going to turn you around, put you on the scale." I did get stopped once, and that trooper, he just wanted to look at the bill of lading. He looked at my net weight, and he said, "Yeah, you're." He says, "Unless your axles are way off," he said, "you'd weigh out anyway. Just keep going." Thank you.
Yeah. Well, most of the scales now anymore. Well, you get out west, you'll have them where they'll have the flashing lights. Letting they're open. But most of them around the country have like an LED sign that will say open or closed.
Uh huh.
Iowa, Altoona, Iowa. Just before you get to Des Moines, their sign has been messed up for about 8 years, and they haven't fixed it. And I don't think they'll ever will. And I'm glad I have pre-pass to let me know I can bypass, because the sign is lit up and it's spelled Clopend. It's Clopend.
It's cloping.
So they get every truck pulling in because they don't know if it's open or closed.
It's cloping.
And you can't see the scale because it's like going up a hill to where the scale's at. You come up that hill and then you can see, if it's closed, they got some cones out on the scale,
Right.
and go to the bypass
Right.
lane. But yeah, every truck that doesn't have a pre-pass is pulling
Cloping.
into that place. It's Clopend.
It's cloping. So if we stop there, if we pull in there and they're open, we're good. But we might be just flying through because they're cloping.
Oh, but man, Florida has so many way stations now. You can't
Oh,
go
yeah?
50 miles without coming across another way station.
See that some states I can remember back in the day were discussing about how many way stations they should have, and they were basing it on how many interchanges there were between way stations. So like it's state highways crossing an interstate.
Right.
How many of those, and then there'd be a station kind of thing. So that guys weren't cheating by running the back roads down state highways, avoiding scales, right? And I don't even know what the road was anymore, but I remember when I'd come out of Iowa, I zip over and get off the interstate and I get on this secondary highway that ran parallel with 35 all the way through frickin' Missouri, right into Kansas City. And the ideal part of it was is if you followed it, it would connect then right to 35 again. But at a certain point, you could turn and you go around these big stockyards and you come out about a half mile farther south in KC and catch 35. Because if you took it straight to 35, right before you got to 35, there was a scale. Well, that scale was because of the meat yard there, livestock yard. Otherwise, that whole stretch, no scale. But it was scary running it to get around the scales because at that time, I know there were 3 all the way from the Iowa border to KC down 35. There were 3 scales. But as you drove by them, it was less than a half a mile between you and that scale. And you're going down that back road. And they knew damn well what you were doing. And
They could see you across that cornfield there coming by.
Yep. They could see you plain as day. And so many times I'd run that. And we figured it out, that if you were running 3 or more trucks, they ain't going to stop you. They ain't going to stop any of you. If you're running lone, you're all alone, they'll stop you, make you go to some nearest interchange, cross over to be weighed. And fortunately, I was always running it, groups of 3 to 5 trucks at a time running that back road. So there's only a couple times I ran it alone, otherwise I always had other trucks running with me. So, but yeah, that always kind of irked me watching that scale as I go by. And then you see a damn scale operator, there are no trucks in the scale. He's standing outside having a smoke. And you can see him. I mean, he's only maybe 3 city blocks away. And it's like, God, he's staring right at me. Yeah. And my truck, of course, has to be plastered with the company name all over it. Yeah. Can't be some plain Jane solid white truck pulling a solid white van. Yeah. I always said, boy, if I was an owner-operator and I was just out there to make money, purely make money, my truck would be solid white. I'd pull nothing but a solid white trailer. Pull me over and I'd tell him, hey, you must have seen a different guy. Could have been me. I loved that when I saw on the talking to the local insurance guy here in Ashland about it, when he showed me that yellow station wagon that we had.
Yep.
That was the cheapest insurance I've ever had on a vehicle. I had full coverage on that thing, which was ridiculous because the car was only worth $1,000. So I had full coverage. I had it covered to the hilt, and I only paid like $18 a month. And I asked him, why is it so damn cheap? And he said, actually, there's 2 reasons. It's a family vehicle. He said a 4-door sedan or a station wagon, family vehicle. He said, and it's not canary yellow, it's just light yellow. He said, two biggest issues: the model and size of the vehicle and its color. He pulled up for me. If I was driving a stinking Chevy Lumina, but it was in cherry red, the insurance was almost double on that car.
Yeah.
Because it was cherry red. Meant you're going to be stopped more often. And they said the problem with you being stopped more often is your risk keeps going up with being stopped. When you're, especially if you're sighted, you know. But so yeah, color played a big part. That stinking station wagon sure was the sweet spot of vehicles in my lifetime. Because that damn thing, I only paid $90 for it. And there was no rust on that car anywhere. And $18 a month full coverage insurance. What the heck? I didn't care that the car looked like a Mexican taxi cab. Yeah. I needed the big car for the family. Gotta be able to haul my family around. Oh, those were the days. Those were the days. I heard from someone in Minnesota bought a brand new truck, and they had that truck all tricked out. It was a, what was it? Dodge Ram 3500. Big bastard truck. Still private vehicle, you know. Brand new, off the lot, brand new. He paid $52,000 for it. His vehicle registration for the first year, $612 in the state of Minnesota. Because your vehicle registration is based on the value of your car, of your vehicle. Nothing else, just based on the value of the vehicle. So he said, I could have the same truck. He said 5 years from now, he says it'll be $200 a year, not $600. I said, now I know again why I don't live in Minnesota. Mm-hmm. The kids that got wiped out of their apartment building by the tornado last week, they told me, they said, Grandpa, we're just so fed up with everything going wrong for us here in Wisconsin. I said, well, where you are in Wisconsin, it's going wrong. You know, there are more than that area, that town, you know. And they said, well, we decided that we're probably going to move. And I said, where to? And God, they scared the hell out of me. They said, we're either going to move to Iowa or Minnesota. I said, no. It's a no. And they said, but we found places to rent that are dirt cheap down there around Amory. I said, oh, no. I said, there's nothing in Iowa for you. Nothing. No. Don't go to Iowa. No. Iowa's the kind of place you move to because you're stupid, but you're rich. You got all kinds of money. You don't have to worry about nothing. You bring your work with you. And yeah. If you're going to Iowa to start out, no. Don't go to Iowa as a start out. No. And they said, well, then we're still thinking of Minnesota. I said, no,
No.
their taxes are outrageous. Their regulations are outrageous. I said, you don't want to live in Minnesota. I said, anywhere nice in Minnesota, you're going to pay anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 a month rent.
Mm-hmm.
What? That means I got to find a job that makes twice that just to get by to live.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Welcome to Minnesota. I said, you don't want to go to Minnesota. Well, that was the first night they came to visit. The next day when they came back, they said, well, I think we got it figured out where we're going to move to. And I go, I don't think I want to know. And they go, it's not Iowa. We're not going to Iowa. I said, oh, halfway there. Tell me it's not Minnesota. No, not Minnesota. There's other bad places. And they go, Menominee. I go, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm good with Menominee. Yeah. If you stay out of trouble, you'll do fine in Menominee. That's a good area.
Menominee, Chippewa Falls. That's decent. Eau Claire's kind of hit or miss depending where you're at, but
and where they're going to be at in Menominee, it's about the same distance of where they are from Eau Claire right now. So I told them, nice thing about Menominee's large enough. Chippewa Falls is large enough. There'll be some job opportunities for them. I said, and you'll be able to rent reasonably. It's farm country. You'll be able to find a nice little farmhouse or something, or a nice apartment in a small town. And so, yeah, they decided Menominee. I'm going, okay, I'm cool with that. At least,
that was the big reason Allie ended up in Wisconsin herself. She works in Minnesota, but it's like
right. Take advantage. Take advantage of living on this side of the river, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's no big deal crossing the river to go to work when it's not that far. Good work in Minnesota. You don't want to live there. You want to work in there, that ain't a bad deal. But living there sucks. You can make a good income over in Minnesota and enjoy it over in Wisconsin. Yeah.
Yeah. If you can find a decent place east of Hudson and then have one of those Twin City jobs, yeah, you'd be set.
Absolutely.
Because the jobs in the Twin Cities are paying you, expecting you're paying to live there.
Right. Right. That's it. Well, the Twin Cities, it's gotten so bad that, like out in our hometown, Spring Park, the average rent in Spring Park now is $2,600 a month. That's the average rent and that, mind you, that's for a 1-bedroom apartment. $2,600 a month. And everybody says, well, yeah, but that includes your utilities and parking and your apartment building might have a fitness room or a pool or something. I still ain't paying $2,600 a month.
No.
To live somewhere.
Yeah. Place better come with a butler and a maid.
No shit.
And one of them better know how to cook.
Yeah. And make sure it says on the job description, other duties as assigned. Yeah.
Well, and even buying down that area, you can't get anything that's not on an HOA anymore.
Yeah, well, and if it ain't, there's a house down there. Now, this is 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, I was down there. there was a house that your mother and I were looking at before you were even born, and it had a regular sized town lot, nice big yard, fairly big yard, maybe quarter of an acre, if that. But the house was only a 2-bedroom, little 2-bedroom. It was a tiny little house. We could have bought it for $11,000. And it had a new roof, new furnace, hot water heater, everything. I mean, they went through that whole damn place. It had new siding on it. I just thought of that. I didn't like the siding because it was vinyl, but it did have new siding. It had new windows, everything. The house was like an old house made new. $11,000. And when I went to the bank, they wanted me to have $3,000 down on that place. That son of a bitch was listed, like I said, about 2.5 years ago. That son of a bitch was listed, that same house. I saw it. I saw the realtor that was listing it. So when I got home, I got online, checked it out. I almost peed myself. $210,000.
Mm-hmm.
$210,000. I was going to pay the $11,000 to buy it back then, and if I would have bought it and just took care of it, never lived in the son of a bitch, and could have sold it now for $210,000. Oh my gosh! Oh, the capital gains on that. Ooh. I mean. And then I was looking, it wasn't the same house we were going to buy out on Lake Pulaski, Buffalo, Minnesota there. That was a beautiful stucco house. Actually, it could be a 4-bedroom, but it had like a library room and had formal dining room, big living room, 3 nice bedrooms, big, huge kitchen on the damn lake. It was right on Lake Pulaski, and it had 1 full acre of property. I could have bought that under a FHA loan. That house was listing for $32,000 on the lake. I looked at listings around Lake Pulaski and I found a house that was a little newer than the place we would have bought, only by about 5-6 years. And I couldn't believe it. $390,000.
Uh-huh.
And all it had was the lot size was about 3/4 of an acre, a little bit smaller. But it was on the lake, just like our place would have been. And so they're getting $400,000 for it now. Almost $500,000, for Christ's sakes. And you could have bought a house just like, just as this, pretty much the same house for over $30,000. The world's gone to shit. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, that's like on, we got the local Facebook page for down there and the region. You'll have stuff pop up on. They'll have houses or apartments for rent that someone will post on there that's in the area. Everyone popped up, and it was one of those apartments that the ex and I had rented, before we got the house.
Right.
Running for $1,500 a month.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
It's like, no.
No way in hell. No way in hell.
We were paying like $450 a month, and that was too much for that, It's a pit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I heard that the apartment building I had, the big one downtown, those little, I mean, there were small studio apartments, no bedroom.
Right.
Little studio apartments that I was renting them out for $150 a month. Right now, they're still, and those, and 3 of them I had there didn't have a bathroom in them. The bathroom's across the hallway. You had to go out in the hallway and across the hallway to your bathroom. $150 a month is what I was charging. Right now, they're charging $725. $725. Now, we're only talking 8 years ago. That is nuts. Cheesehead, I got bad news for you. He says $210,000. I think that the interest due. That's the interest due on my late mod checks. Sorry, you ain't get your mod checks. Sty North Inc. is where we're doing your mod through, and I filed Chapter 13 on it. Yeah. And you were included. I'm sorry if you didn't get the notice, but yeah, the court already they satisfied my claim and totally bankrupt on that. And so that debt is gone. I'm sorry, pal. I don't know what happened. I love the picture of you guys standing there with the fish. Did one of those other guys catch all those fish for the rest of you or what? I have to say that before you take credit for all the fish in the picture. They're nice fish, but there's just the right amount that one guy could have caught them all. Yep. Oh, sure, he says, while I was on vacation. I told the attorney to push it through quick. Push it real quick. Yeah. Get it over with.
Yeah. Yep, it's not our responsibility if you don't take and keep up on the memos. You know?
That's right. Guess you shouldn't have thrown that one in the trash, eh?
Yeah. Oh, you see what they're talking about for the ore dock? Putting condos down there, or townhomes, and turning the ore dock into like a private park there in town. That the city had posted about that to have that developed. And been a lot of people complaining, going, "Oh, great, more places that none of the locals can afford." They're
going to put the condos on the ore dock?
No, up on the shore of the ore dock, but turn the ore dock into basically like a private park area.
Private?
Yeah.
Because right now it's a public park. It's considered a landmark. It's considered a historical landmark. I don't think they're going to get away with it. State's going to jump in on that and say, you registered it as a historical. You can't unregister them once they are registered. So, yeah, they might run into some headaches there. But
I saw that and I was like, I don't know if that's going to really fly. It's like,
and even the people with the money, why the fuck would they want a condo? Even if the ore dock is their private park, I don't know why the fuck they'd want a big old slab of concrete that's, 1,800 feet long as a park. But right to the left of it is the campground.
Right.
And they'll never get rid of that campground, or you'll see Chicago and LA and New York riots going on in Ashland, Wisconsin. They ever try to take that campground away from those folks down there. They will not put up with that. Even the out-of-towners will have a fit. but that campground is 99% locals staying at it. The I know of 4 people that spend almost the whole summer down there at that campground with their big fifth wheels. And it's because it's right by the marina too. So they get a slip at the marina for their big fishing boat. They stay in the campground. They just walk over to their boat, back and forth. Yeah, the city tried to take that shit away from them. And if you're living in a condo, yeah, you want to look down on this big old campground down there. But you get to look out on that private pier that we can. What are they going to do? Cover this son of a bitch with AstroTurf to make a park out of it? Because
Well, the pictures that they had, it was, a mock-up picture, like a developer picture, and it was all grassed and trees and stuff out there, and benches and lights. It's like, you guys gonna take and put out a,
couple million.
Yeah.
It'll cost them a couple mil, because first of all they got to crib the whole thing to hold
And then
dirt,
all the fill.
and then haul all that dirt in there and fill that whole son of a bitch. And they're not going to grow very large trees there. Nothing that has a deep root base, because Jesus Christ, they have to put in 12 feet of dirt. Well, and what in Ashland takes the biggest hit whenever we get a goddamn northeaster or a western storm? It'll strip the trees right off that son of a bitch. Hell, it's back in history. The winds have taken big fucking metal cranes off of that ore dock. Yeah.
Well, and then when we get those years where you get that wind out of the north during the ice break and it all pushes up on the shore, you're just gonna scrape that slab clean.
Yeah.
It's like I wouldn't want to live right along the lake, especially that far close to the water line.
See, that's got me really kind of interested and a little confused, because the Coast Guard, I know, holds a perpetual lease to the causeway between the pier and the breakwater wall before the park. That whole stretch, the length of that ore dock, is a perpetual lease with the Coast Guard. Once the feds got their hands on it, you'll never get it back, because they're subletting it then out to that big research boat down there through the DNR and a couple of big national and international organizations studying the Great Lakes. But yeah, you always got that big Coast Guard boat down there and that big research vessel parked there. But that's what happens when the city of Ashland gets all of these implants, people that don't originate from here, sitting on our city council, and then they sit on all of the planning committees, and they come up with these wild freaking ideas. Well, that's like up in Washburn when they came up with that whole lakefront project. It's only going to cost $3.5 million of all the landscaping, everything they were going to do, and turn that whole long lakeshore, the full length of Washburn, into a natural space and foot traffic only, not even bicycles, and blah, blah, blah. And the town's buying up all this land along the lakeshore to put this project in. And what happened? Great Lakes I'm trying to remember their title. It's the Watershed Commission. They got in the middle of it and told Washburn, wonderful project, beautiful, but you ain't putting it in. Because all of this landscaping you plan on doing and all these changes you plan on doing are going to affect the watershed, the Lake Superior. We're not going to allow you to do it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Because that association has got every Lake Superior tribe attached to it. And all the tribes will say, nope, if it's going to screw it all with the runoff in the Lake Superior, they can't have it. That might happen too here with the ORDOC. The Watershed Commission might jump in the middle of that and say, you're going to put all that dirt and shit up on there, and that's going to erode into the lake. And, no. Yeah. Well, I thought it was.
Well, when you get the outsiders coming in, and Bayfield's gotten bad.
Yeah.
Over there, where pretty much everyone running things don't even live there.
Yeah. They've got a summer home. You have to be a landowner to be on their city council. So that's what they own, a summer home. And then they show up and make all these grandiose plans. They pay a little bit of it in their taxes, but if you can afford to build a house at goddamn Bayfield, you can afford the taxes. They pretty much ruined Apple Fest. And then you had that cruise ship that come in. That was a joke when that went down. It's like all the local businesses were not happy because it didn't help them at all. Yeah.
They had to spend so much to, have things up and running and to the standards that the city wanted, but none of those tourists were buying anything there.
Then the whole idea fell flat on its face. Well, it's just like with Red Cliff. We had 3 different cruise lines ready to contract with us, and we would have had 12 cruise ships coming into Red Cliff as a destination to the hotel. And they would spend 5 nights, 6 days, I think it's the way it worked out, at the hotel. Well, they had no reason to go anywhere else. Restaurants are there, gambling is there. But they needed the new marina for it so they could bring a cruise ship in close enough for loading and unloading. Well, Red Cliff thought the original plans for their destination casino resort that because white men were going to invest in it, that they'd be better off without it. Tribal members got it good up there, don't they? Yeah. Poor dumb bastards. I bring them $26 million and a commitment to invest a total of $500 million into the tribe. And they said, no, there's too many white guys involved. Why do you give a shit where that money's coming from? Because they got the same terms as the non-white guys. The problem is the non-white guys aren't willing to invest $500 million. They're only willing to invest up to $50 million. and they got what the $50 million paid for: a hotel and casino. No new marina, nothing. No airport, no golf course, 19-hole golf course. Not They didn't get the 2 additional wings of hotel or the timeshares along the lake. They were going to put in a Lake Superior spa resort. They were going to have the old bubbling Lake Superior water for you to soak your ass in. To me, that's eat a can of beans and go swimming. There's your bubbly Lake Superior water for you. But, oh no, boy, they were going to invest into the tribe so well, and the return on it would have been to die for. Oh, my God. The return, it would have put Bad River right out of business. I mean, Bad River would not have even been able to afford to keep their casino operating. But no, Red Cliff thought better. We'll take the $50 million instead of the $500 million. Okay, poor dumb bastards. And the nice thing about it is we only had the best engineers and best architects money could buy, and all of them were involved with Foxwoods, which made enough to give each tribal member $5 million annually. Oops. But there were some of the white guys that they didn't want there doing that work. Oh, well, life's tough.
Well, that's something that always baffled me with, up there, that whole region, that they don't seem to quite grasp the fact that they're a destination. They're not a pass-through.
Right.
You've got to have something that gets people to want to come to you.
Right. Well, for one thing, you got to go from Highway 2 up there.
Right.
I mean, it's not like...
that you're not going to accidentally pass by there and go, oh, that looks interesting, and pull in.
Well,
like Black Bear or Meskwaki or
They argued with me and they said US 2 and Highway 13 are the same kind of highways. I said
no.
I said you can say that because they're both made out of blacktop, but beyond that, there's no comparison. Highway 2 is a main thoroughfare. 13 is a backcountry road. It's a good highway, but it's backcountry road. Nobody's on it. The few tourists that are on it aren't here for the casino. They're here to go kayaking or camping. They're not here to go to your casino. Oh no!
Yeah, and you're usually going up, Port Wing and Corny and Herbster. Yeah. Easy access to the lake.
And they already have their destination because they're there for a specific reason. And we were making arrangements with a fella, and he was going to provide kayaks for hotel stayers to rent, and they could get kayak lessons there at the marina, and all the amenities are going to be available. But the tribe thought better. No. Well, so you're not giving anybody a reason to take a left or a right off of Highway 2 and head up here. You're going to starve to death.
Well, and I was shocked just driving through there with the X, driving through the old neighborhood and stuff. It's like, this is like ghetto, and it's so sad out there now.
Yeah, it went all to shit. We had it so nice up there for quite a few years. It was so nice. And then it just turned to shit. Well, that's enough of that. We're going to wrap her up, guys. we got to wrap her up. It's that time. It's that time. I want to thank everybody for showing up this week. And hey, like usual, I'm going to grab that girl in the fur coat out on the porch and do the jig, and we're the heck out of here till next Sunday at 2 p.m. Central Time. Love y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.